Hey there, friends! Today we're going to read a story called Buildings. The story was written by Betsy Chesson and Pamela Chanko. Let's look at the cover of our book here. Can you tell me what can you identify on the cover? What is this building right here? Good job. It's an igloo. We have an igloo here. And what letter does igloo start with? Good job. Igloo starts with letter I for igloo. So let's look at this. We have an igloo and it's called Buildings. What can you predict? What do you think our book will be about? Maybe our book will be about different buildings. Let's find out. What are buildings made of? Ooh, that's a really good question. Let's look at some of these buildings here. Here we have a barn. What does it look like this building might be made of? I see long slats that are all different colors. Looks like maybe this could be made out of wood. How about here? We have this nice, pretty house right here. Can you tell what this is made out of? Well, it looks like there's individual pieces that you can see. Looks like maybe it could be made out of stone or bricks. Maybe. How about this really, really tall building here that has lots and lots of windows that can reflect the sky? What do you think this is made out of? Well, I know windows are made out of glass. So maybe this whole building is made out of glass? Possibly. And here's our igloo again, just like on the cover. Do you know what igloos are made out of? Igloos are made out of ice. That's why they have to be made where it's always cold, otherwise it would melt. The igloos are made out of ice. It says buildings can be made from many different materials. Wood, bricks, and stone are just a few. Sometimes a building is made of several different materials in combination. The material a building is made of often depends on what the building will be used for and in what environment it is built. Will it be a place to work or a place to live? Is it in the desert or in a big city? The answers to these questions help the builders decide what materials to use. Look at that. Here's our barn from our first page. And look at this. We were right. It says some are made of wood. So our barn here is made of wood. Wood has always been a basic building material for people who live in temperate climates where lots of trees grow. This building is a barn in Vermont. It is used as a shelter for animals like cows and horses. So wood houses or places like this are built where lots of trees grow because wood is made from trees. So they have to have lots of trees nearby to make their houses or buildings. Ooh, look at this one. Oh, what is this right here? Can you identify it? This is a bell. And what does it look like this building is made out of? We see all these individual parts. It's made out of brick. Some buildings are made of brick. People first made bricks by baking dirt and clay. They were fairly small so that they could be easily thrown up to the mason who was working high up on the wall. This building is a bell tower in Italy. So here we have our bell, and this is a little tower that it's housed in. So this is a brick bell tower found in Italy. Some are made of rock. Look at these buildings. They're made right into the cliffside right here. That is a really cool looking building. So long ago, some people built shelters right into the sides of huge rocks. These small rooms kept people protected from the weather. Some of them are still inhabited or lived in today. These buildings are in a village in Turkey called Ukasar. The quarters are actually used for restaurants and tourist accommodations. How cool people have made restaurants or places to eat and places for people to stay in. How would you like to stay in a house made of rock? I think it would be a pretty cool experience. Ooh, here's another one of our houses that was on the front page. This house is made of stone. So stone is kind of similar to brick, except that stones aren't usually all the same shape or size like bricks are, and stone is a little bit more durable or harder than bricks, because bricks are made out of mud and clay, or dirt and clay, and then baked, whereas stone is just like stones or rocks that you find on the ground. So sometimes builders take small stones and use them like bricks, joining them together with mortar to form walls. The strength of such buildings lies in their weight. All those stones are very heavy. This stone house is in Alabama. So this stone house here is from Alabama, and it's really, really strong because these stones are all really heavy. Ooh, this is a very famous building found in Paris, and it's made of metal. So some buildings are made of metal. When people discovered how to make cast iron, architects began designing very different buildings. Metal is both lighter and stronger than stone and can support great weight. Therefore, buildings made of metal can be very tall. This is the famous Eiffel Tower in Paris. So metal, it's a lot stronger than our stone house, but it's a lot lighter. So that means it can be built taller without falling down. Some are made of mud. Look at this place. This place looks very, very cool, and that's all made out of mud. So mud is like when it rains outside and the dirt gets wet and it gets all kind of sticky and sticks together. That is mud. And then when you dry it, it can be solid and hard, just like this building here. This mud house is very practical in its environment, which is the desert. Dried mud makes a long-lasting house here because it doesn't rain. This house is in the Moroccan desert. So mud houses need to be in a place where it doesn't really rain, because the rain would weaken it, make it more liquidy, just like when it rains outside, it's all sticky and liquidy. So you need to have mud houses where it doesn't rain a lot, like in the desert. Oh, here's our nice tall building, also from the beginning of the book. And we were right, it's made of glass. It's made of glass. In the mid-20th century, people began to erect buildings that had metal skeletons and were covered on the outside with glass. They always use a special kind of glass, very thick and strong. If you look up in a big city, you can see skyscrapers like this one reflecting the clouds. So the glass that it's made out of has to be very special and strong so that it doesn't just break. Oh, here's our igloo from the front cover. Look at this. We were right. Some are made of ice. So our igloo here is made of ice. People who live in very cold, frozen climates also use what is close by to create buildings. They cut blocks of ice from the frozen ground to make bricks they can stack. These homes are called igloos. This one is in Canada. So just like our house made with brick, it's stacked the same way. We want them all the same size, and then we stack them up to make a building. But this one, instead of being made from dirt and clay, it's made from ice. Some are made of straw. Look at this house. It's made out of straw, just like in our story, The Three Little Pigs. Straw was the super, super lightweight one. One of the building materials used in this small church in Peru is straw. The building is in an area too high for trees to grow, where straw was easier to find than wood. The thin reeds were laid side by side and sewn together to form a lightweight roof and walls. This straw building is on an island in Lake Titicaca, the highest lake in the world. Very cool. So there's not a lot of trees nearby, so they can't make it out of a more durable building like wood. So they have to use what they have nearby, some straw. And some are made of logs. So here's another one that's just like from our book, The Three Little Pigs. They're made out of logs. The Three Little Pigs, they use sticks. Logs are thicker, sturdier than sticks, a little bit better than the sticks used from the book. Pioneers who didn't have a way to saw the tree trunks into boards used the whole log as a building material instead. These logs were fitted together to build strong walls and roofs. This log cabin is in the woods of Alaska. Whoa, look at this building. This one, super shiny building, is made of gold. Gold. Very few buildings in the world use gold as a building material. This amazing structure is the Shwe Dagon Palace in Rangoon, Burma. Its tall, cone-shaped towers are completely covered in gold. Look at that, how beautiful that building is. All right, friends, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had fun learning about all the different buildings and all the different things we can make buildings out of. I will see you next time. Bye.